रात को लाइट किस रहा हो बाल देखेंगे स्कूल गए
So hello everyone. Today we all are going to start our class 9, chapter number 8. So as chapter number 8 is motion, or basically it's belong to your class 9. And if we are talking about the motion, first we should know the states of object. So basically we have two types of states. First one is state of rest, and second one is state of motion. Whenever we are talking about a state of rest, so there are many examples. Example like a tree. Whenever you are seeing a tree, it always a fixed position, or it has a fixed place. There are many examples which are in stationary position, or stationary, or static, or this rest. All are the same things. And example house and electric poles, or schools, factories. All are the example of state of rest. If we are talking about the state of motion, so there are many objects which used to take as a state of motion. Example, as you are seeing the cars, bike, scooters, even the human body also, when it walks. Example, cycle. There are many more examples who just change its position. So they are the state of motion. And if we are just trying to observe these all the things, we need something to observe the thing. That observer is called the reference point. Okay, so स्टार्ट करते हैं जनरली. जैसे कि पीपीटीज आपकी जैसे आगे बढ़ती रहेगी, चीज़ें आपको ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्लियर होती रहेंगी, और जो एक्स्ट्रा चीज़ें होंगी उनको मैं एज अ आपको बताता रहूँगा. जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बताया कि दो स्टेट्स है हमारे फिजिक्स में. फर्स्ट वन इज द स्ट्रेस एंड सेकेंड वन इज मोशन. So rest is a fixed position, and whenever I talk about the motion, it changes its position with respect to time or surrounding. Okay, so whenever I just use the word rest, so if I get the proper definition of rest, so our body does not change its position as the time passes with respect to time and frame of reference. So it should be in state of rest. And I use a word that is reference point. What is this reference point? Reference point is a fixed point which used to observe the state, whether the object is in state of rest or in motion. Next thing is state of motion. Example, uh, state of motion, a body which changes its position as the time passes with respect to frame of reference is said to be state of motion. So I can say I used to just clear the things by the single definition, or I used to connect the definitions like if you able to recognize the first definition, you just able to learn the second definition also, as I am going to tell the definitions on my audio vocal. Okay, so as in the screen you are visible that what is motion. So motion is the change in position of a body with respect to time. तो टाइम के साथ अगर कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट अपना पोजीशन चेंज कर रहा है तो इट शुड बी इन स्टेट ऑफ मोशन. ओके, आगे चीज आती है डिस्प्लेसमेंट. सबसे पहले हम बात करते हैं फिर डिस्टेंस के बारे में. तो डिस्टेंस क्या है? डिस्टेंस इज द एक्चुअल पाथ ट्रेवल्ड बाय द बॉडी. जो भी एक्चुअल पाथ किसी ऑब्जेक्ट ने ट्रेवल किया है उसको ही हम उसकी डिस्टेंस कह देंगे. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज डिस्प्लेसमेंट. डिस्प्लेसमेंट इज नथिंग बट इट इज द शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ ट्रेवल्ड बाय द बॉडी. जो भी शॉर्टेस्ट पाथ किसी ऑब्जेक्ट के द्वारा ट्रेवल किया जाएगा उसको हम कह देंगे स्टेट ऑफ सॉरी उसको क्या कह देंगे? डिस्प्लेसमेंट कह देंगे. ओके, अब एग्जाम्पल के लिए इसमें आपको दे रखा है इफ अ बॉडी स्टार्ट मूविंग इन स्ट्रेट लाइन फ्रॉम ऑरिजन. अभी ऑरिजन से उसने स्टार्ट किया मूव करना and moves through C and B and reach A. So C B से होते हुए वो A को पहुंची है and then moves back to the C through B and then the distance travel will be 60 plus 35. We can do easily. We can just calculate that from 0 to 60 it is 60 meters plus if we back from A to C it will be 35 meters, 35 kilometers. So if we adding these distance, it will be 95 kilometers. So total distance will be 95 kilometers. Okay. If I talk about the displacement, displacement will be the shortest path. That how much small distance can be. So it will be displacement. Okay. So if I just see in a given diagram, you can see from origin to C point it is 25 kilometers. So it will be 25 kilometer the displacement. Next PPT is showing about the uniform motions and non-uniform motions. But before that, you should know what are the major differences between distance and displacement. So first major difference is that distance is a scalar quantity and displacement is a vector quantity. Same as distance is always positive, but displacement can be positive, negative and zero. Or if I say that scalar quantities are those quantities which have magnitude, and if I talk about the vector quantities, such quantities are those quantities which have magnitude as well as direction. Okay. After that, we just come to the next topic, that is uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So if a body travel equal distance in equal interval of time, it always said to be uniform motion, और इसको हम constant motion भी कह सकते हैं. Okay, और if in equal interval of time, it is said to be non-uniform motion. Basically क्या होता है? In non-uniform motion, there it can be if a body travels equal distance in unequal interval of time, it is also same non-uniform motion. अगर equal distance दे रखा हो unequal टाइम पे तो भी नॉन यूनिफॉर्म होगा, और अनइक्वल डिस्टेंस दे रखा हो इक्वल टाइम में तब भी ये नॉन यूनिफॉर्म होगा. नेक्स्ट थिंग इज स्पीड. स्पीड के बारे में बात करें तो स्पीड इज अ जो भी डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल हुई है पर यूनिट टाइम में उसको हम उसकी स्पीड कह सकते हैं. ओके, तो स्पीड का जो फॉर्मूला बनता है वो बनता है आपका स्पीड इज इक्वल अपॉन टाइम, और इसको सिंबलाइज करते हैं मोस्टली जो डिस्टेंस है उसको हम एस से ले लेते हैं और जो टाइम होगा उसको हम टी से डिनोट कर सकते हैं. तो जो भी स्पीड होगी इट विल बी v इज इक्वल टू एस बाई टी, और एस आई यूनिट ऑफ स्पीड की बात करूँ इट इज मीटर पर सेकेंड. और even it is written below that since the speed has only magnitude, it is a scalar quantity. So as I had said about the distance, same as speed is also a scalar quantity. Okay, it has only magnitude, it doesn't have any direction. If I talk about the average speed, एवरेज स्पीड इज द टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय द टोटल टाइम। जो भी टोटल ट्रेवल डिस्टेंस होगी उसको हम टोटल टाइम से डिवाइड कर देंगे, तो इट विल बी योर एवरेज स्पीड। ओके, move to the next slide. It is speed with direction. Speed with direction is nothing but it is the velocity. So we can say velocity is the total speed with direction. We can say the rate of motion of a body is more meaningful if we specify its direction of motion along with speed. The quantity which specify both the direction of motion and speed is velocity. तो जो भी motion किस भी डायरेक्शन में वो जो ऑब्जेक्ट है वो मूव कर रहा है, तो इट विल टेल अस अबाउट द वेलोसिटी। वेलोसिटी विल बी डिस्प्लेसमेंट अपॉन टाइम। As you can see, the velocity has both magnitude as well as direction, so it is a vector quantity. Or we can say vector quantities are those quantities which have magnitude and direction. Okay, next is average velocity. If I talk about average velocity, it will be the total displacement